Have you ever felt like you are stuck in the same relationship, just with a different person? Different face, but the same argument and the very same heartbreak. Maybe you keep attracting partners who pull away, don't commit, or trigger the same wounds again and again. And at some point, you start wondering, is this my soulmate or is this some kind of karmic punishment? Here is the truth most people never even hear. Sometimes the conflict you're experiencing didn't start in this lifetime. In the Akashic Records, many relationships come from something called a soul contract or a karmic loop. But here is the empowering part. You don't break a karmic cycle just by finding a new partner. You break it by changing the energy of the conversation. In this video, I'm going to show you the Akashic reason why certain relationships feel impossible to leave, how past life vows and soul contracts create different patterns. Now let's dive in. The hidden reason why you keep attracting the same relationship. In the Akashic Records, relationships are rarely random. Many connections are formed through soul contracts. A soul contract is essentially an agreement between two souls before even they are born. The agreement may be something like, I will help you learn self-worth, or I will trigger the wounds that you must heal. Now the tricky part is this. These contracts often activate through conflict, which means the person who triggers you the most might actually be the person who your soul chose as your teacher. I know, that's not comforting, but it explains something very important. Why the same dynamic keeps repeating. For example, you attract emotionally unavailable partners, or partners who constantly criticize you, or relationship where you feel like you are always the one trying harder. Friends, this is not bad luck. This is what is called the karmic loop. And karmic loops continue until conscious awareness enters the relationship. Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever said this? Why do I keep dating the same person just with a different name? If your answer is yes, welcome to the Karmic Loop Club. Membership is free, but the emotion lessons are really expensive. Now, the Akashic insight. One of the most common patterns I see in Akashic relationship readings is something called a devotion or a sacrifice vow. In past lifetimes, especially in spiritual or religious communities, many souls took vows like, I will sacrifice myself for love, or I will stay loyal no matter what the suffering, or I will endure pain for the sake of devotion. Beautiful intentions, but those vows carry energetic consequences across lifetimes. So in this lifetime, the pattern shows up as staying too long in painful relationships, or overgiving emotionally, or feeling responsible for fixing your partner, or confusing suffering with love. And your soul keeps attracting partners who activate that vow until you learn something very important. Love does not require self-abandonment. Healing begins the moment you replace sacrifice with conscious communication. And friends, here is the powerful truth. Karmic cycles don't break through spiritual awareness alone. They break through with new relational behavior, which means how you communicate changes the contract or could change the contract. Let me give you 3 scripts you can start using immediately. Number 1. Many karmic relationships continue because one person avoids expressing their needs. Here is a powerful script you can try. I care about this relationship, but I also need emotional respect. Can we talk about what's happening instead of avoiding it? Here, you are not attacking, you are inviting clarity. This shifts the energy from reactive conflict to conscious dialogue. Script number 2. In karmic relationships, one partner often takes all the emotional responsibility. The script gently returns accountability. You can say something like, Look, I'm open to understanding your perspective, but I can't carry this alone. What part of this do you feel responsible for? Now, this activates something really powerful. It forces a relationship dynamic to rebalance energy. Script number 3. Sometimes the most powerful communication tool is simply naming the pattern. For example, you might say, I notice we keep having the same argument in different ways. I don't want to repeat this cycle anymore. Can we try a new approach together? When you name the cycle, you bring consciousness into karma. And consciousness dissolves unconscious contracts. Let's talk about something many people struggle with. And that is the twin flame illusion. Sometimes people stay in painful relationships because they believe this must be my twin flame. That's why it's so intense. But friends, intensity does not equal destiny. In the Akashic Records, many so-called twin connections are actually karmic relationships designed to trigger growth. The difference is simple. A soulmate relationship supports your expansion. A karmic relationship repeats lessons until boundaries repeat. And here is the key insight. A relationship only becomes healthy when both people grow, not just one. Breaking a karmic loop, friends, requires 3 very important things. Number 1 is awareness. Number 2 is communication. And number 3, and not the least, is boundaries. Awareness shows you why the pattern exists. Communication changes the energetic dynamic, and boundaries rewrite the soul contract. Because the moment you stop abandoning yourself, the karmic agreement is complete. The lesson has been learned and the cycle finally ends. If you are currently in a relationship that feels confusing, exhausting, or spiritually intense, take a breath. It doesn't mean that you are broken. It may simply mean your soul is asking you to complete an old contract. And completion doesn't always mean leaving. Sometimes it means speaking a truth you have never spoken before. So if you are curious about the soul contracts influencing your relationships, this is exactly what we explore during an Akashic Records reading. In these sessions, we uncover past life vows affecting your current relationships, hidden karmic agreements, and also the communication shifts that need to break the cycle. So dear friends, if you are a person who is struggling to communicate, to express yourself in your relationship, you can book a 10-minute free clarity call with me, which I have made open only for my community. The link is in bio, and I will see you really soon in the next video, where we'll talk about how to break the karmic vows, how to break the patterns that repeat again and again and keep you in the loop. Take very good care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.